Picture yourself inside a hyper-exclusive VIP lounge. The bass is shaking, glasses are clinking, and then suddenly, everything freezes. Total silence. Why? Because Michael Jordan is standing inches from Rich Paul's face, and he is definitely not smiling. This isn't some casual business greeting. MJ's hand is locked onto Rich's shoulder like he's seconds away from slamming him into a wall, and that stare is the exact same one he wore before ending Detroit's run in '91. The GOAT finally snapped at the guy who's been poking holes in his legacy for more than 10 years. Rich Paul looked like he wanted to disappear, because podcast logic and whiteboard theories don't matter when the real god of basketball is right in your space. And just wait until you hear the wild things Rich has been saying about MJ privately. From tying Jordan to the crack era to flat out claiming MJ isn't the greatest ever. If you think the GOAT debate has only been about rings and numbers, you've missed the real fight happening behind closed doors. There's been a calculated effort by Clutch Sports to rewrite history before LeBron James officially exits the game. And honestly, it's starting to look desperate. To understand why Michael Jordan was basically ready to crash a Miami gala to confront Rich Paul, you need to revisit the nonsense that's been pumped into our ears for years. It began with that platinum antlers take in 2023. Rich sat on a podcast and argued that LeBron's journey was tougher because he had to live under Jordan's shadow straight out of high school.
But I just think LeBron's antlers is in platinum and Michael's may be in gold. Why? Because when you think about, he had to be compared to Mike. Who did Mike have to be compared to?
Talk about it.
Think about the nerve behind that argument. He's trying to convince you that dealing with expectations is harder than dominating every human being on a basketball court for 15 straight years. Or that calling yourself the chosen one on a magazine cover is tougher than surviving the bad boy Pistons beating you up nightly. It's a corporate move. If you can't beat MJ's 6-0 record, you try to make that record seem less impressive. But things went way darker on January 6th when Rich Paul appeared on the Max Kellerman podcast and delivered one of the strangest takes ever. He actually pulled out a whiteboard to explain why the Jordan brand exploded. And his conclusion was insane. He didn't credit 6 championships or MJ's elite business instincts. No. He blamed the crack epidemic. I'm not exaggerating. Rich argued that Jordan's legend wasn't built on basketball brilliance, but on 80s and 90s street culture's obsession with status and drugs.
These people had basically not even careers or high-paying jobs. They just had hustles. So now when you bring forth the crack epidemic, it created a revenue stream amongst a group of consumers that, number one, would have never had that dollar to spend.
He literally said, people didn't buy MJs to be like Mike. They wanted to be like Max with the BMW and the girl.
And you used me as an example because I was sitting in front of you. You said, it's not that Michael Jordan did this, it's that the influencer who had the BMW or whatever, you said, like Max with the fly girl and the BMW. So you're saying
what
that
I was saying was the hustler.
He was basically calling every Jordan fan shallow, claiming the most iconic athlete ever was just a lucky product of timing and social chaos. He even suggested Martin Lawrence and Will Smith mattered more to the shoes than Mike himself. To me, that was a direct hit at the soul of the Jordan brand. MJ built a $4 billion empire on excellence. And Rich Paul is touring media saying it was just dope boy marketing and crack era luck. That's when the quiet version of Michael Jordan died. You don't insult a man's fans and life's work just to boost your client. And if you know MJ, you know he protects two things, his legacy and his supporters. Rich attacked both. Rich isn't just an agent. He's the engineer of LeBron's image. And to lift his guy, he believes he must tear down the greatest. That's why he digs into the 80s for excuses. He claims MJ dominated because there was no social media distraction. He weaponized the word timing, suggesting a prime LeBron in 1988 would own the same $4 billion brand. That ignores one key fact: MJ invented the global superstar. Before him, players were just athletes. After him, they were icons. Rich framed this as culture, but it's really an attempt to cheapen MJ's work. He even said MJ's business success only came from understanding royalties, like that somehow weakens the legacy. No, it proves he was smarter than everyone else, including LeBron. Here's where it turns manipulative. Rich pushed the idea MJ had it easy and his legacy was a scam because there was no 24/7 news cycle. He also said social media would have exposed MJ's bad games. Which is hilarious coming from a man who literally manipulates media for LeBron's benefit. The intent became obvious when Rich claimed MJ was protected by critics like Peter Vexi, pretending the 90s media was a fan club. Anyone who lived through it knows that's false.
That's a whole nother thing that Mike never had to deal with because his hardest critic was probably Peter Vexi.
Yep. Straight up.
You see what I'm saying?
Notice the pattern? Every time Rich speaks, he plants a seed. MJ was lucky. MJ was a product of the streets. MJ had it easier. It's a slow poison designed to weaken Jordan's legend so when LeBron retires, crowning him feels natural. But MJ spent his life reading defenses and traps. He saw this coming. So when he grabbed Rich's shoulder in Miami, he was reminding him that you can buy podcasts, outlets, and whiteboards, but you can't buy the feeling people had watching him in '98. And once we break down the real numbers from that era, the truth will be scarier than the myth. If you think that charity confrontation was just a hallway moment, wait until you hear what MJ told him about Clutch's future. Insiders say MJ made a move that could leave LeBron without allies in the league office. It happened at a charity event in a secret Miami VIP lounge. January. Music pounding. Legends and A-listers everywhere. The top of the top. But when MJ stepped into Rich Paul's space, that Hollywood protection vanished. Rich is used to being untouchable. He moves LeBron like a chess piece behind PR walls. MJ doesn't need a team to prove authority. According to witnesses, Jordan never raised his voice. He didn't need to. He stood there with an unlit cigar and said, "You can buy the media, you can buy the shoes, but you don't get to buy my history." One sentence erased 15 years of strategy. Rich stood frozen, drink in hand. MJ leaned in again, "You don't rewrite my life because you can't sell yours." That was the kill shot. Jordan released his grip, took a puff, and walked away. But he wasn't finished. While Rich regrouped, MJ was making calls. Rumor says he just isolated LeBron before the retirement tour. And don't think this is only Rich. LeBron's been throwing subtle jabs for years. After 2016, he looked at the camera and crowned himself the GOAT.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. That's what I felt.
That was insecure. Jordan never once needed to announce himself. He earned it. By naming himself, LeBron implicitly placed MJ second. Then came the ghost comment. In 2016, LeBron said he was chasing a ghost from Chicago. Sounds motivational, but it's slick. A ghost isn't real. It reframes Jordan as a myth instead of history. It's classic Clutch behavior. Turn the 90s into fantasy so LeBron's longevity feels more legitimate. We'll destroy that argument with numbers soon. If you want proof MJ sees through it all, look at Kendrick Perkins. He was Jordan brand royalty. Shoes nonstop. The moment he flipped and declared LeBron the GOAT, the boxes stopped. Perkins confirmed it himself on TV in March 2025.
I used to get boxes in the mail all the time of the J's before they even hit the stores. I started my media career as soon as I said that LeBron James was the GOAT, those boxes stopped coming.
Jordan isn't some retired billionaire golfing. He's a competitor. And when people he feeds try to burn his house down, he reacts. It's a warning to the league. Pick a side. But don't wear the king's shoes while grabbing for his crown. The funniest part is LeBron playing innocent. In March 2025 on Pat McAfee, he admitted he and MJ don't speak.
Who, me and Michael?
Jordan?
Yeah, we're in a good spot. We don't talk.
He framed it as focus, hoping they'll talk later. Reality? MJ talks to who he respects, like Luka. If he's silent, he sees through the act. MJ stays untouchable because engagement feeds Clutch content. Rich keeps hyping 23 seasons because accumulation is LeBron's only advantage. Basketball doesn't celebrate survival. It celebrates dominance. Take 1988. MJ won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and the scoring title at 35 a game. Best offense and defense alive simultaneously. Led steals. Swatted shots. LeBron? 0 DPOIs in 23 seasons. Closest was 2013, when Gasol earned it. MJ made 9 all-defensive first teams in 15 seasons. LeBron made 5 in 23. MJ has 10 scoring titles. LeBron barely has 1. Rich tries spinning MJ's scoring as selfishness. Funny how that led to 6-0 in the finals. LeBron's playmaking led to 6 losses. Then comes the illegal defense lie. They ignore the Jordan rules. Pistons try to break him. Hand-checking was legal. Put MJ today and he averages 50. The 90s were war. MJ conquered it. And the retirement myth? He didn't quit. He finished. Left on top. Came back. Left again. LeBron is stat chasing. MJ proved greatness in 15. As MJ told Rich, stay as long as you want, but don't disrespect the greatest ever. Rich still calls MJ one-dimensional. Just a scorer. Just a closer.
I said, yeah, if I'm starting a team, I'm taking LeBron number 1. I'm still taking LeBron number 1. And I would take MJ to take the last shot.
That's code for lacking IQ. But records speak. 1991 Finals. Jordan vs. Magic. MJ averaged 31.2, 11.4 assists, 6.6 rebounds on 55.8%. He outpassed the greatest passer ever. Rich ignores that because longevity is his only card.
But we know who the best player ever is. His name is LeBron James.
Fans see it. The 2025-26 season feels like marketing. Clutch voices everywhere pushing totals over dominance. You can't buy legacy. That Miami event ended MJ's silence. So ask yourself, who do you trust? The man who went 6-0 and crushed legends? Or an agent with whiteboards and podcasts? In the 90s, teams triple-teamed MJ on the court. In 2026, Rich Paul triple-teams the media to keep LeBron relevant.